go. All right.
Yo, guys, welcome back to the Touchliner podcast, episode 7. Back with the two original hosts. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. It's taken so long to get started. Hussein, how you doing today?
I was good until I had to restart my Discord 95 times and just scream "ah" into the microphone for like 10 minutes.
Oh, days.
All is well, brother. How are you?
It's all good, man. I'm good. I'm good. Just making sure we're recording. We're recording. We're good. I'm all right. I'm all right. It's been an interesting week of football. There's a lot to talk about. I'm excited to get started on it. But
We're gonna start with a new segment before anything. We're gonna start with our new segment. I'm just very excited because I have mine ready. We have our star of the week. Joshua, do you have a star of the week? We're gonna do this every week, inshallah, if we remember. We will remember because we're professionals. You have your star of the week.
my star of the week. You go first. Let me think about mine first.
Brahim Diaz,
Oh
star of
yeah.
the week.
Mhm.
Let me explain. Okay, so stats. It's more than just stats. Okay, Brahim Diaz was after Çalhanoğlu left 2 seasons ago. He was given number 10 physical number. He became our number 10. And our starting center attacking midfielder. Right. That pressure. He came out in his first 6, 7 games and performed like a world class 10. Exactly how he should have. He did everything right. He was scoring and assisting, and just he was the dream. He made us forget about Çalhanoğlu within 1 to 2 games, right? And then he got COVID. After COVID, he just never came back. His performances were lackluster, and he wasn't there. Although he always had that passion for the team, and he worked hard, but he wasn't there. I think I remember Liverpool in the Champions League. The first leg was his last good game.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
since then, he was very on and off. He wasn't dependable. So we break our bank. Or sorry, we break
Move
our
it a bit
bank.
further away. You're
Okay,
breathing into
sorry,
the
my
mic,
bad.
yeah.
All right, my apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, over the summer we break our bank for an almost record fee to sign Dikitalari, who becomes our next man. And he's like the future, and he's everything good about the future of the club and whatnot. And I still believe that, but started off the season really, really poorly. With Brahim Diaz, bear in mind he's still on loan from Madrid. He is not an official Milan player. He's still on loan. He was given the number 10. That is pressure and responsibility. And with that pressure, he kind of folded. But being someone who is told we're gonna keep you and we're gonna make you our bench player behind the Titolare, that would demotivate a player, right? But not Brahim Diaz. He saw his opportunity as soon as he realized that the Titolare is having a tough time adjusting to a top five league. He wasn't doing too well in the Champions League. He wasn't doing too well in the Serie A. So Brahim started getting more play time. Started against Juventus, and he had an amazing, amazing game against Juventus. He started yesterday against Monza, and he netted a brace, and I'm pretty sure he was the man of the match. But to score a brace as a cam, first of all, is a very big deal. But to deal with as much as he's dealing with, and still come out and say, "I love AC Milan. I am so happy here at Milan. I want to give my everything to the club." After we signed somebody that was we basically told him, "Hey, this guy's bigger than you. We care about him more than you. We're gonna put him ahead of you." And he still comes out and says, "I love this club. I'm gonna score a brace for you guys against the best team in the Serie A, obviously." Monza.
Now,
Yeah, that's my star of the week.
it's a it's a good return for him. You can always see the quality with him whenever I watch him in the Champions League. And that Liverpool game I did watch, that's actually one of the Milan games I watched last season. He is amazing in that. But that is the attitude you want in a youngster, not be demotivated by anything. And chances are you probably sign him permanently because I don't think Real Madrid are going to want to keep him. So yeah. Anyway, my star of the week, I just stuck with United, so I'm gonna go with Bruno Fernandes. And I know he didn't do anything
Okay.
against Chelsea, but that Tottenham game, oh my,
Oh yeah.
I've not seen an individual performance like that from a United player in a very 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 long time. He inspired us to that win. He also played well against Chelsea though. He could have got 2 assists easily, but Rashford can't shoot and Anthony doesn't have a right foot. So it's not his fault. He's creating chances left, right, and center. I can't remember. So was some stat about someone creating 6 big chances this season. I think it was De Bruyne. Fernandes created 9 big chances against Tottenham. For that,
Oof.
9 key passes, 9 big chances. So these key passes
Uh,
are killer passes, and we only scored twice. It says a lot. We need a striker, but I'll move on to that in a bit. But I think Fernandes as a player, he looks so much better when Ronaldo's not in the team. Now I think it does play on his mind a little bit, like his heroes in the team. Whenever he gets the ball, he's just trying to get it to Ronaldo. It ruined his game a little bit. Last season you could see he would get
mm,
the ball on the halfway line and launch it to Ronaldo, who's like in the middle on the other side of the pitch. It's like, what are you doing? But he played really well against Tottenham, well against Chelsea. But that's my star of the week. But yeah, it's gonna move on to the games now. If that's all right, we're gonna go to
yes,
the
sir.
midweek
Go.
games. So we'll start with Liverpool. I just talked about Fernandes. We'll start with Liverpool. They beat West Ham 1-0 at Anfield midweek. Nunez scored. We don't like him very much on this podcast, but he did score a decent goal.
You know what? I'm gonna come out and say that I'm very close to writing an apology to Darwin Nunez
He scored
because
one goal. What are you
no,
talking
here's the thing.
about?
He didn't just score one. Okay, he didn't just score one goal. He's started finding a rhythm of scoring. Okay, he scored against Arsenal. He scored against West Ham. He's netting. And he's not. By the way, he's not starting every game. Nunez is not starting every game, and he's starting to score too. Granted, he had a terrible start to the season. He has to work a lot on his touch and his decision making. However, he is starting to pick up, and I sense that if Liverpool start to switch up and actually win some games, Nunez will start to shine. And if that happens, I will come up and put my hands up and say, I'm sorry, Darwin. However, they just lost another.
Yes,
So
they lost.
it don't
They
really matter. It
they
don't really
lost.
matter.
They lost the fight. That's the thing. I was like, why are you saying all of this? But you were dissing
No,
him last
because
week.
he is scoring.
No,
No,
but
no. I look. I would not if Liverpool paid us to give us Nunez, I wouldn't take him. Origi is 10 times the striker Nunez is, and I'll take that to my grave. But I don't know. He's starting to up his performances now in terms of results. He is scoring. He's still not that good, but he's scoring. But yeah,
it was a well taken finish, but I was gonna move on to that Forest game. 1-0 against a team that was rock bottom of the table. Only one win before this game all season against West Ham. They've beaten Liverpool. They could have had 2 or 3, but they showed why they are bottom of, well, now 19th in the table. But huge performance from them in J Lings. Nottingham Forest finally with their 22 summer signings showing what they can do, and Liverpool showing what they can do. They had many chances to equalize or even go ahead. 2 chances from Van Dijk from free kicks where he was a free header on one, a free volley. Both times he tried to pass it across. I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know what he's
yeah. I
thinking.
saw I saw that. I didn't watch the game, but I saw that header where he headed it across goal when he was like right in front of the near post. It was crazy.
He should have. It's those kind of chances. Is if you get it on target, it's probably going to go in. But Dean Henderson with a great performance. I don't know how I feel about him. I like him. But I don't think United are going to keep him. It was a good performance from him. It was great for Forest. But yeah, Liverpool. I don't know what to make of them. We were saying last week that it's a rejuvenated side. Maybe this is where the season kicks off. But they go and lose to the worst team in the league. What do you think about that?
I think I'm not surprised.
Okay.
I'm absolutely not surprised. I said it from the start. What was it? 4 games in, I said Liverpool are not making top four, and Arsenal are, by the way. And look how right I have turned out to be so far. Liverpool just don't have the minerals this season. They don't have the motivation. They don't have the drive. They don't have the will. Okay, and it starts with the back line. It starts with the back line. Uh, Again, I don't know. I didn't watch the last game. I don't even know if Trent played, but did Trent play against Forest?
Yes, he did.
He did. Okay, and they lost. What does that tell you? Trent, look, get rid of him or move him up to midfield because he is just biggest of
Oh
liabilities
wait,
in right
wait,
back.
wait, wait. Okay, no, he came off the bench. He came off the bench, and
In what minute?
after they scored, to be fair, after they scored, he came off the
After he scored.
bench.
Okay, Fair enough. Fair enough. But my point still stands. Look, here's the thing. I like Trent as a person. I like
Go him,
I
yeah.
like him. I rock with him. I think he's cool. Okay, I see interviews, I see videos that but this is not friendship. This is football. At the end of the day, you're not performing. Okay, you used to have the highest assist in the season. You don't anymore. First of all, secondly, the production rate in ratio to how much you're costing your team is monumental. You cannot defend or make up for any of the things that you're giving away. You're not even defending, and you're on a four in a back line of four. It is now the point where you move him up to the midfield or you get rid of him because he is 40% of the reason why Liverpool are where they are right now, and that's why he's coming off the bench now.
Mm. He is a definition of a system player. You know, he
Oh, you
works.
know what? I have a hot take.
Mm.
I have a hot take. Sorry, I'm gonna
Okay.
cut you off there, but I have a hot
Okay.
take. Um, so I remember the interview where Klopp said, "Oh, we play a press which requires our right back to stay up, and that's why Trent doesn't track back, and our press is so high, and all of that." Okay, you stick Wan-Bissaka on that team, just Wan-Bissaka. I guarantee you, the defensive production, even in the same system, same strategy with the same high press, the defensive production rate, the stops, the goals conceded will drop drastic. Just stick anyone that has any defensive acumen, not even just one Bissaka, just any defensive acumen. But put Calabria in there. I'm telling you, he like it's not because of the tactics or the strategy. Trent has just given up on defense. And anyone who is a right back, who can be a right back and not a right winger or a center mid, in that system will succeed, or maybe not succeed, but will do a lot better than Trent. Sorry, that's my hot take. There you go.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think they'll ever get. I'm not ever, but I don't think they will get rid of him because he is an academy product. He You can't just forget what he did in the last few seasons from their point of view. For me, I can discard this guy like he's nothing, but for them, they're like, look, he got like most assists for a defender, most assists in the season, whatever. Crossing output, he's good from set pieces, fair enough, but it is costing them this season. That is why he was dropped for that Forest game. Yep, it didn't work. And he was dropped for the City game. That actually did work. But it just seems like Liverpool are winning 1-0 or losing 1-0. You know, it's they don't have that same bite as they did the past few years. But their dynasty, whatever, if you want to call it that, you shouldn't, is ending. It's ending. They I saw this video actually. Basically they said them giving Salah that long term contract basically goes against everything the club have been trying to do for the past few years to build this young, hungry, energetic team. They're not doing that anymore. Salah's going into his 30s. It's what do you do? Like I said, I've been saying this. You have to let go of the past. It's not working anymore. You build it. You have Luis Diaz. You have Nunez. You can get someone else in on the right hand side. You can build a brand new Liverpool team around a new front three. It's a problem for Liverpool. This and it might cost them top four, like you've been saying. Uh, but yeah, anything else
It'll
to say
cost
about
them top
Liverpool?
four. No, I think that's enough abuse for today. We've used up our abuse minutes of the episode.
That's not true actually, because I want to talk about Arsenal. So Arsenal today, they drew it. they, they have
Yes,
dropped.
they finally dropped some
They've
points.
dropped points for the first time since they played us. 1-1 against Southampton. United won 1-0 there, by the way. 1-1 against Southampton. Um, I didn't watch the game. Uh,
Yeah,
but haha.
looking at the stats, I guess you could say it was relatively even. I don't know.
It's
I again,
what
thing
I
is,
saw from like highlights and what I heard from people is Gabriel Jesus dropped a stinker again. A stinker again. People are saying I can't believe this guy was saying he improved. He's the exact same player. He's getting compared to Lacazette. I think it's a bit premature. The things about him at the beginning of the season, the things now, I think it's a bit premature. We're only 10, 11 games in, or 11, 12 games in. I don't think he's as good as people say he is, but I also don't think he's as bad as people are saying right now. It's just football fans are reactionary, aren't they? Um,
absolutely.
but it is funny. for them to drop points to Southampton. It is a hard place to go though, but they could have gone 4 points clear of City. That would have been huge, like
Yeah.
huge. That gives them like so if they went 4 points clear and they mess up two of the games, like they draw one, they lose one before the World Cup, they could still be top going into the World Cup. Could you imagine that? And then we'd have to sit, or I'd have to sit on this podcast for 4 weeks with Arsenal at the top of the table. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy.
I mean, hey, you're talking like that's not still a possibility. It could very well be that from now
Uh,
until the World Cup, Arsenal they talk. We all know eventually Man City is gonna catch up, but are they gonna catch up this soon?
I think they will. City are just gonna keep winning. Arsenal, it started. It started now. The downfall has started.
I wouldn't speak too soon.
It,
Who do
I,
who,
I
who do Arsenal have next? Let's
Arsenal.
see.
I don't know actually. I don't think they've. The thing is as well, Arsenal haven't had
PSG.
many big games.
They have Nottingham next, who are massive. And then Chelsea. So I think if they regain their momentum
Ooh,
against Tottenham,
I would.
against Nottingham, then
Okay, I just saw the Southampton goal against
can I,
Arsenal. It was
can I
beautiful.
just say, can I just say, by the way, Chelsea, I try. I try to enjoy watching Chelsea. They are so boring. They just it's like they just do everything in their power to just be the least entertaining football team. I couldn't even stay entertained when they played against Milan. I was
Mm,
watching the
mm-hmm.
Chelsea United game yesterday, and it was just like, like, this is not football. Like, I can't even describe this style of play. The only description I have is boring. They are so damn boring. They make every game stop starty and don't get me started.
That's a good segue into what I want to talk about next. United beat Tottenham on Wednesday. Good good win. Probably one of the best wins
Great
I've seen post Fergie. I've never seen us dominate a side so much. I can't. Let me get the exact stat. I think it was like 26, 27 shots. I'm not too sure, but it was. We killed them. We had about 16 shots, I think, in the first 15 minutes. Not 15, sorry, 30 minutes. That's insane.
yeah.
To just. And it was this whole thing of, oh, Conte organizes his team. He's so good at defending. He sets up with a five, But we were breaking them down time and time again. Their midfield, who was supposed to be one of the most solid, defensively at least, in the league, just torn apart. Bentancur, Højbjerg, Bissouma, these are three defensively minded midfielders. And they got killed by Fred. They did. Fred, Fred and Casemiro. But
By the way, can we stop? Can we please stop talking about Fred like he's not a very, very good midfielder?
he's not a very,
Because
very
Fred
good
is a very,
midfielder.
very good
He's
midfielder.
not a very,
No, no,
very
no,
good
no.
midfielder.
Fred is a very he's agile. Okay, sometimes he'll misplace one of his passes. His interception rate is very good. He assists and scores. A six should not be assisting and scoring. Fred assists and scores. Like,
He's
okay, maybe not so often, but he is reliable. I don't understand the hate against Fred.
I don't
Fred is
hate
a
him. I
reliable, solid
I
DM.
love him. I honestly love him. But he's just frustrating because his ball retention is horrible. He's great if you're like go in there and make and cause an issue. Just go in there and cause an issue. He'll do that. He'll run around. He'll run around. He'll win the ball back. He'll get interceptions. But he can't play the pass. He'll have to turn around, give it to Bruno.
He
Turn
is a
around,
bit of
give
a
it to
poor man's
Casemiro.
man.
That yeah, and he was amazing for that against Tottenham. It's one of the best, probably people saying the best game he's had since he joined United. Amazing. He was instrumental in the win. He scored. Finally in the second half. We should have scored in the first half, but it's okay.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
move, and then Bruno scored an amazing goal as well. Curler just outside the
We
box.
need to talk. We okay. So there's two red boxes that I have to go over here. Right. Number one, we need to talk about Marcus Rashford's finish. It appears that the only thing that he knows how to do is strike it lace on. He
Yeah,
doesn't know how to finesse the
isn't
ball.
it?
He doesn't know how to
Isn't
play
it?
it. He
Yeah.
doesn't know how to pass it. Like that's here's the thing. If you put if you put Rashford in like a training camp where he just focuses on his finishing, he learns how to curve the ball, he learns how to place it, he will be one of the best strikers in the world. And I'm so sure about that. But why if you're standing right in front of Lloris, do you think that the ball is gonna go through his stomach? Because it's not. Laws of physics don't allow that to happen. At the end of the day, doesn't matter how hard you hit it, you can hit it harder than Hulk does. You're not going through Lloris. You gotta get around the guy. The amount of times I just saw him just smash the ball right into Lloris. Why? Why? Just here. This is the foot. Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? What? Like what? What? Why it's always just lace on? Like, anyways. Second point. As good as that performance was, and as dominant as your win was over Tottenham, it was very much underplayed when we saw Newcastle defeat them today.
That's the thing, right? Hold on, we'll go into that later. We'll go into that later. I just want to finish talking about
Okay.
United, right? Before this game, Tottenham were in very good form. Okay, they were third in the table. I predicted a draw. I didn't think that we were gonna do anything. They had a very good defense. They'd kept, how many is that? Two league clean sheets in a row. So it's two clean sheets back to back. You're thinking, wow, these guys know how to defend, right? And it's Conte. Even of course, you know about Conte. It's his style,
Yeah.
boring but effective. Boring but effective. We'll win 1 or 2-0 against you, but we dismantled them like they were nothing. So we were thinking, amazing. A lot of people were saying, oh, but Tottenham suck. We're like, no, let's give ourselves the credit. We go on to the
It's still
Chelsea.
third.
Yeah, exactly. So and it was a good win. It brought us closer to the top four. We go to the Chelsea game. I thought we were going to draw that, and we did. 1-1. Once again, very similar story, but we didn't win. We can't finish. And back to that point you said about Rashford, he can't finish. There was a beautiful pass Bruno played to him, and he was 1-on-1 with Kepa. He waits too long, and he kicks it right at him. He did try chipping it, but it was 1 inch away. Obviously, it hit him. But
Yeah.
it his finishing does frustrate me. Anthony had a great chance, but he needs to just do right foot training only because he's good at everything. Except, well, I mean, this end product, fine, but right foot training, please, for the rest of the month. My gosh, that should have been 1-0, but we need a striker. And we did touch on Ronaldo the other week. He would have definitely helped in this game, I would feel, near the end, especially when we were trying to cross it in. It would have been great, but he has to be punished for what he did. But rumor has it he will have a conversation with Ten Hag in the next few days about what's the next course of action. And if all goes to plan, he'll be playing on Thursday against Sheriff. But we'll have to see.
That is the general understanding. So I'm like seeing like what Ten Hag's been saying. He came out in an interview today and he said, "What's it called? Ronaldo's an instrumental piece and whatnot." But after the friendly, who was it against?
What, the one
A
that he
friendly where
walked
he
out
walked out.
first? Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
Vallecano,
yeah.
Real Vallecano.
Yeah, Vallecano against Rayo Vallecano. Him and a bunch of others walked out, and he was like, basically like, we can't have this just keep happening. It's not going to be a habit. It's about club culture, and it's not like you cannot make it a habit at the club. So I guess maybe it wasn't much of a Ronaldo. I'm going to discipline you. It was more of I need to make sure that people are not just thinking it's okay to walk out. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So which means that he'll be back against Sheriff. Will he be starting? I don't know, but
I think he'll start
um
because we got to rest. We got to rest the other guys. I think he'll come back. He'll start, but yeah, we could have used him against Chelsea. They got a penalty. They scored it obviously because Jorginho, and right at the
yeah.
end, Casemiro with
What a header.
a beauty, a header that Ronaldo would be proud of, a glancing
Yeah.
header, uh, over the keeper. The keeper gets a hand on it and it crosses the line by 1 millimeter. I went mental. What? That's a great result, from the position we were in away at Chelsea. Like you say, a boring team. I was expecting them to just sit and just play around the back for the last 10 minutes, but huge result for us. We are now sixth, 1 or 2 points off
Can
the
we
top
can
four.
we talk about football fans by the way? I saw this one TikTok and it was talking about how like it showed a video of Casemiro celebrating that goal because he was emotional after that goal. And it said something like this man won 5 Champions Leagues and this is how he celebrates a draw. Okay,
Come
like,
on,
can we
man.
just yeah, can we just discuss? First of all, anyone who speaks like that has no ball knowledge or no passion for the sport. You're not playing for a draw. You're playing to bring your team back to life, to give yourself another chance. You, as a center defensive mid, have become the savior of the team, of the club for this game. That is definitely something to celebrate. And if you love the team that you play for, you could have won a million Champions Leagues. That's how you need to be celebrating. Otherwise, I would be very concerned.
I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
I, I wish I could just just hold every stupid football fan and just slap them like once and then another backhand with the other side because these guys are so stupid, man. So and some fans are just so okay, let's talk about something else.
No, I think it's jealousy though. I think a lot of them just don't like United celebrating.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
yeah. All right, you mentioned Newcastle earlier, so let's talk about that. Newcastle
Did you
back
watch the game?
to back wins. No, I did not, but I saw the goal. The goals. I was working with the
I saw the first goal. I don't know what Lloris was doing. I,
man.
there's no physical explanation to how that goes in. He just decided, oh look, it's bedtime. He
Fella,
went to sleep
honestly,
right
he
when the shot
went
came in.
down and tried to call for the free kick. That's not happening. Like goalkeepers are protected, yes, but not that much. But that being said, the amount Wilson has to do there on his weak foot to actually get it over the keeper, the defender. Well done, honestly, great goal. What a goal from Wilson, and the goal from Almiron. Did you see it?
I saw. Wait, I might be thinking of Almiron's goal because the one the let me have a
No, no, no,
speak.
no, no, no. Lloris on the first goal, he like fell over outside the box, and then Wilson had an empty net.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different one. Even the second one was a terrible save.
No, yeah, it was, but Almiron did a good amount there, and that puts Almiron on 6 goals this season. He is actually becoming an
That's
actual threat. So I know we laughed at Ben for it, like oh Almiron, but he is doing quite well this season. Um, and they've beaten Tottenham, Newcastle, away from home. Against Tottenham, that's 2 losses on the bounce. Maybe they're not all that, like you said. And the thing is, right, I was looking at tweets earlier, and it's this thing the fans are saying, look, Conte ball is fine if you're winning things, right? You play the style of football, so you're pragmatic and you win the trophies, or at least challenge. But if you're playing the style of football and you're not winning games, let alone trophies, it is the most frustrating thing in the world. It reminds me of when we had Louis van Gaal. Like, it's just boring football. You don't want to sit through that every week. But then
no result.
that's the thing. I saw someone they actually like wrote it out. They're like
Oh,
Mourinho,
oh, what a goal! What a
isn't it?
goal, Lloris.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's even stupider from Lloris. He just had a shocking game, a shocking game. Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, sorry,
Spurs
continue.
Spurs going from Mourinho to Nuno to Conte, and like your prayers for the Spurs fans. That's horrible. 3 horrible brands of football in a row, and they're still suffering, man. Well, I mean, what do you think about Newcastle and their recent form? They also won midweek, I should say. 1-0.
Um, well, what I think doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is Newcastle are fourth, and that is just one of the biggest things that could happen in world football today. Because this time last year, I don't think they'd won a single game
Mm-hmm.
this season.
Yep.
Now they're fourth.
Yep.
Okay, fine, money, signings, but who did they actually sign? They didn't sign any crazy players. Okay, they brought in Trippier, fine. They brought in Bruno Guimaraes, fine. But
Botman.
they bought okay. Botman was a good signing, but they didn't bring in any Man City level signings. They,
Yeah.
if you were to list the top 10 signings of the season across all top five leagues, even just in the Premier League, Botman he wouldn't even crack number 10.
Mm.
You know, so we can't really put it on money that they're in fourth place. The only thing we can put it on is Eddie Howe, and it just goes to show because he's taken like okay, this is what I have to work with. I'm gonna make something out of this. He took Joe Linton out of the garbage, cleaned him up, he hosed him down with the shower, gave him a makeover, and he stuck him in a different position. Suddenly they're fourth. Come on.
Mm.
That is so credible. Eddie Howe right now has got to be manager of the month without a shadow of the doubt because put Newcastle into fourth place. Like I just cannot stress how huge of a deal this is. Wow, wow, wow. Incredible. And well done to Eddie Howe.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think it's down to him. It's not so much the money because the thing is they could have. You have to remember when City got money, they made a bunch of stupid signings. Robinho, Joe, and a bunch of other guys. Who else did they sign?
Balotelli.
Yeah, they signed. They even got Vieira, but they did a bunch of stupid stuff. But Newcastle
Yeah.
have been so smart with it, with all those signings that you said, and with getting a coach in that knows what he's doing and not just, oh yeah, for 1 2 years. No, he's here for the long haul, and he's gonna get them to the top, wherever the top may be for them. But I would love to see them make European football. I think that would be hilarious to see Newcastle in Europe.
Did you see what Klopp said?
What did Klopp
He
say?
was like he was like Newcastle have no ceiling. Unfortunately for other clubs, we have ceilings.
This.
Are you forgetting that you spent 80 million for Nunez this year?
Yeah, that's gonna say, you know how much he spent on Nunes. He spent that much on Nunes, that much on Van Dijk. Oh, this guy, man. Oh, we forgetting that he spent
Unbelievable.
70 million on Keita. Are we just gonna forget that as well?
53
Come
million on
on.
Keita.
Well, I'm just say 70. 70 million.
150. No,
No, but
but
even 50 million for
I'll
Keita, that's ridiculous. He's
I'll tell you
horrible.
what. At this point, it's becoming pretty obvious that Klopp is doing what Mourinho does, but maybe doing it just a little bit better than Mourinho does. Is he's taking attention off the players by just saying stupid and outlandish things that are obvious, that obviously have zero claim. But now you see, he got us talking about Klopp instead of Liverpool. Actually, we were already done talking about Liverpool, and we talking
Liverpool
about how terrible they are. But
suck.
still, but still, at this point, you have to realize that he's doing it to take tension off of the players. There's no way.
Yep, yep. It must be. I mean, all great managers, even Ferguson did that. That's your job as a manager. Don't blame your players. That's what Mourinho was good at doing at the beginning, but near the end, he just blamed the players, and that's why he's kind of lost it a bit. But Roma.
Speaking of Roma, just lost to Napoli 1-0, and it was a late goals at the 80th.
Oh, by who?
Putting Roma in, I believe Osimhen scored. I need to double check because it happened
I'd
just
love
as the
Osimhen.
episode started.
I love Osimhen.
Osimhen's great.
Do you remember that rumor from the summer, which was Napoli was saying, "Yeah, give us Ronaldo, and you can have Osimhen if you give us 100 million." And we were like, "What? No."
Plus 100 million.
And but just to add on to that,
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
So
Oh, sorry. What you say?
Osimhen scored, putting Roma in fifth,
That's not
7
bad.
points behind Napoli.
That's not
Still
bad.
not bad, but yeah.
That's not
Still
bad.
ahead of Inter, ahead of Juventus, ahead of Udinese, who have dropped to six, by the way. But we'll move on to that later.
But yeah, I just wanted to say something about Ronaldo before we move on to this area.
Yeah,
Ronaldo and then
please go
quickly
on.
City. So Ronaldo, apparently only one concrete deal came in for him in the summer. So it wasn't because
Was it the Saudi one?
Saudi club was the only concrete offer. Everything else was just talks and maybe. But
Oh,
so the club weren't forcing him to stay, and he did want to go, and the club were gonna let him go. But it's one of those things of you're not gonna take him off us, or the one offer that he actually had, he didn't want to take because he wanted to go to a Champions League club, of course, but no one wanted him.
yeah.
So it's a bit difficult. Hopefully this summer he can move, or this January. I hope he does because still love him as a player. I've cooled down in the last episode. I love him. I think he's just a bit frustrated. I don't agree with his actions, but I hope his career can end the way he wants it to end because that's the very least he deserves. With the World
Yeah.
Cup. But
I
yeah.
think.
Hmm?
Go on. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I think now, nearing January, it's more likely than in the summer for a deal to be struck, especially for like Chelsea, for example, because now Manchester United have shown their hand. They have no bargaining. It's like it's almost as if it's get rid of Ronaldo at any cost, you know, without like absolutely destroying the club, which means that Chelsea can demand that like, oh, give him to us until the end of the season, and pay half his wages,
That is quite
something
likely,
like that.
Yeah, I think that is likely. It might
I
not be
can see that
Chelsea.
happening.
Yeah, it is likely. I think a loan or something, if he's that unhappy, that's okay. I'm fine with that. As long as we get a striker in. But yeah, quickly, last thing on the Premier League. City win again. Haaland scores two. Did you see Haaland's first goal?
Uh, the one where he just like, yeah, just absolutely bodies defender and
It's
just
not
runs as if
fair.
nothing has
It's not fair.
happened.
So 17 Premier League goals. He's equaled Harry Kane's
Oh,
goal tally from last season. So he's got 17, City win. Edison with a howler. It should have been 3-0. He should have saved Trossard's shot. Once again, I don't rate him. But yeah, that leaves City 2 points behind Arsenal. Um, But can I just say, by the way, you know Haaland's got 17 goals, but the strikers behind him are having really good seasons, but no one's talking about it. Kane's got
How many does Kane have?
Kane's got 10 goals in 11
Oh wow.
games. Mitrovic has got
Okay.
9. Tony and
Mitrovic still has 9. Okay.
Tony's got 8, and then behind that is like Almiron is behind. Oh my days! I don't even want to look at
How
the
many does
rest.
Almiron has 6?
6. He's got the same as Foden, Firmino, Madison. But I
Oh,
mean, Kane, Mitrovic, and Tony are having amazing seasons, but no one's talking about it because why would you?
cares? Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I'll be
Like
honest with you.
double the goals as Haaland. But yeah, that's
Kane is a
that's
fraud anyway.
that is the Premier League for now. It's time to. This is your line. What are we gonna do now?
Well, we are currently entering the airport. Oh, just passed through customs. We are in the jet. And we're in Italy. And let's go. So, we're going to start off with my boys yesterday who, excuse me, I dropped something, who managed to have a win that kind of put me at ease for the first time, I guess, all season with Milan because so many of our wins have just been 1-0 or late winners, or like coming back late game. We didn't have any like extremely comfortable wins. We looked very solid and comfortable against Zagreb though, I'll be honest. But yeah, like every game you're just on edge, on edge, on edge. This time, finally, Milan come out on top 4-1 against Monza. Still conceded a goal, but I understand. We had Dest come on, trying to find his rhythm, who got injured and had to get subbed off. Mignon is still out. He'll be out until after the World Cup. So Tatarushanu is filling in. So I understand conceding a goal. I would have rather to see 4-0, but let's talk about the goals. Okay, first of all, if you haven't seen Origi's goal, I'd recommend that you go and take a look at it. It's one of the most perfect strikes I've seen in a very, very long time. And yeah, if you get a chance right now, go and look at that.
I,
Like I talked about earlier, Brahim Diaz's brace. He scores in the 16th. He scores again in the 41st. Just dominance, dominance, dominance from the start. And then Liao to seal the deal in the 84th minute with a decent goal as well. Um, it's comfortable, Finally, a game where my emotions are not all over the place, and I have to wait until the 96th minute to see us win. So that was really really good to see. Besides that, yeah, as mentioned earlier, I didn't get to watch the game because we are filming the podcast, but Napoli just beat Roma 1-0. I'll be honest with you, ever since Dybala got injured, I haven't really cared to watch Roma play anyway, so I'm not even mad that I missed that game. But yeah, keeping Napoli 3 points clear of the new second place holders, AC Milan,
hmm.
who will eventually climb up into first place because we're going to win this league, absolutely and for sure. Lazio, with a shocking, well, not very shocking because they've been having a very good season, but they beat Atalanta 2-0, and it appears that frustrations are running high late game because Muriel did pick up a red card in the 90th. Lazio, that finally takes away their drawing streak. They drew 2 games in a row um, against Sturm Graz and Udinese. Now, finally, with a win against Atalanta, they have Midtjylland next in the Europa League. I'm not even gonna.
What
Sorry, in
a
the
right.
Conference League. Yeah. Roma sitting in fifth with Udinese at sixth and Inter at seventh.
Inter's game
Se-
though.
oh, oh, oh! Juventus in eighth.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
how insane that is.
Inter's game had me on strings all night yesterday because it was 2-0 Inter, 2-2, 3-2 in the 73rd. Jovic equalizes in the 90th. Mkhitaryan scores in the 95th to win them the game, which I don't care that much because they're still seventh. But it would have been nice to see them draw against Fiorentina, especially considering Fiorentina are 14th with 10 points in 11 games. Um, yeah, and looking at Juventus, they are on a 2-game win streak. They did have a very, very nice 4-0 against Empoli with Keane, McKinney, um, and Rabiot with a brace. Rabiot, look,
You're dissing him in the
look,
Ronaldo episode.
I stand, I stand by what I said. Rabiot sucks. Rabiot is not a. Honestly, Rabiot sucks. Okay, but look, Rabiot starts for Juventus. Juventus are eighth. Okay, you put two and two together. Rabiot sucks. When Rabiot became the starting eight for Juventus, Juventus stopped winning the league. Rabiot sucks. I'll take that to my grave. Kenny, however, is starting to pick up. He was signed, I think, 2 seasons ago. Didn't get much playing time his first season, but now is starting to play more. Still not a top side starting center midfielder, but starting to pick up a little bit. Performances are going up. But yeah, when you're starting Moise Keane,
Mm.
Weston McKinney, and Rabiot sucks. Okay, that's all I have to say on the matter. Rabiot sucks. But yeah, I don't know. Look, Allegri out. I've been Allegri out, and I'll stay Allegri out. Even Inzaghi out at the moment, I don't think. Look, even though um they beat Sassuolo, they drew with Barca, which is a very good result for them. They beat Salernitana, they beat Fiorentina. Still not convincing team, not a good team. They're still all over the place. They're still requiring individual brilliance at many points of every game. Zaghi is not a tactician.
Mm.
Serie A is a very tactical league. Zaghi is not a tactician. He's just riding on the back of whatever Conte had planned for the team, and when a substitute teacher says, "Oh, what did Mister Kashif have for you last week?" Yeah, just continue that. That's exactly what Inzaghi's been doing with Conte, and wearing off. It's wearing off, and I don't know if he lasts until the end of the season. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think he will last if they knock out Barcelona of the Champions League, which is highly likely. I think he keeps his job for that, and then it's one of those things where when you lose the Champions League, when you get knocked out, he's gone. Because if you can get that into, because if you look at that group at face value, right, when that got drawn, that looks like the group of death. It just does, right?
Yeah,
Bayern, Barca, Inter. You get out of that group, I think it buys him more time, even if he's playing substitute teacher football. That's a new saying, actually. I like that. Substitute teacher football. If he does that, it's fine. Like he's still got time, but Inter and Juve, two fallen giants. You do love to see it, especially you as a Milan fan.
love
You
to
must be
see it.
loving it.
Absolutely. Look, I don't hate Juventus, and I don't even
No,
hate Inter.
no, but like it's
I
funny.
despise Inter.
What about boy you an Inter shirt?
I wouldn't wear it. Oh, fun fact, guys. For Secret Santa, I once bought Josh a Man City shirt, and it's still sitting in his cupboard, and he's never put it on.
Yeah,
Made me a
why?
fool.
Why would I? You tried. I remember. You're like, oh, just put it on. It's a
I
gift.
went out of my way. My mom bought that for you. I hope you know. I
Why did
didn't
you
buy that.
say
My
that?
mom
If
went.
you said that, I would have.
Damn.
I would have photoshopped her.
She went all the way to Sharjah, bought that shirt for you, and brought it to me.
I didn't even know. I feel bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, that's Syria. Have there been any other interesting? Ooh, shall we speak about Valverde again?
Look, man, best right winger in the world. I'm by it. Scored again. Every game. So he starts with scoring a nice outside the box goal, right? And then he scores a brilliant outside the box goal. And then the next game, this is in the space of 3 games. In the next game, he scores a Trivela outside the box, top corner goal. Like, to what extent? Next game, he's gonna do kick-ups, turn around, bicycle kick outside the box, top corner. Like, this guy, he's just having fun. He's like, the care in the world. He's so damn good. And oh man, I love seeing him. Like, when you see someone celebrate, you see someone like play for the badge. He plays for the badge, like, really, and it's just so nice to see so well. How many? I think that's 6 goals in 11 games, and he's a winger who's not really a winger, which is crazy. But yeah,
He is coming into his own, but it highlights Real Madrid's scouting system, their talent ID, crazy. Vinicius, him, Rodrigo. A year ago, we wouldn't be saying this about these guys, you know. But they always do this. Real Madrid. They manage to find these players and rise them to this level. They did it with Pepe, Sergio Ramos, and Marcelo all those years ago, and they're doing it again. You know, it's annoying. Why can't we have that? It's not fair.
it's just a club very well. Say what you want about Perez, with the Super League issues and whatnot, but he knows how to run his club. He knows how to bring in the right talent, the right scouts. He knows how to keep it alive and relevant, because no club I can remember has been as successful as Madrid has for as long as they've been successful for. Like, for example, Milan, as great of a club as they are, second best club in history, they had a 10-year drop off. 10 years of rebuilding, and only now we're still not a top club. We're almost a top club, but we're not a top club. 10 years after, you know, it to see Madrid just stay on top. They might drop off for one season, but have a one season long rebuild and then bring in talent that just changes the game and wins you the Champions League when all the odds are stacked against you. And by the way, they had the hardest Champions League run ever and still made it out. You know,
Yeah,
that is a club well run, a club very well run.
I agree, 100%. And just in a year's time, we might be looking at Mbappe in a Real Madrid shirt. At that point, they can have the Super League just them by themselves, so we can actually have a nice competitive Champions League season.
Them and City can just them City, PSG, and Newcastle can just sit in the
Yeah,
Super
go over
League,
there. You go over there.
there's the most chance.
The normal teams will stay here, but
Be
that
interesting.
we'll see. I think a couple of years. I wouldn't. You know what? I have a hot take. I'll say it right now.
Go on.
I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle qualify for the Champions League.
Okay, shut your mouth. This is where we end the episode.
No, no, no.
So thank you guys
Honestly,
for watching.
honestly, I would not be. I'm not expecting it. I don't think it will happen. But if it happens, I won't be like, oh my, wow. I'll just be
I
like,
will.
cool.
I
No,
will.
if you actually watch, I sound like Ben. If you actually watch the Newcastle game, they're
It's not
defending.
about watching.
No, but
It's not about watching a Newcastle game.
if
No, no,
they
but Josh, I understand. I understand. But at the end of the day, every club, and I'm not. This is not to knock Newcastle or Eddie Howe at all. Every club that comes out of nowhere always burns out 100% of the time. The first season they burn out, the second season they absolutely amazing. Look at Milan the year before we won the Scudetto. We were winter champions, undefeated in what, like 22 games, and then we lost like 3 in a row. And then we had like a terrible run of games. Ended up in second place by a crazy margin. We were like Inter were 10 points clear of us, and we were very good. On our day, we were an amazing team. No one could get past us. Our defense was incredible. But when you come out of nowhere, we were fourth the year before, fifth. Sorry, we were fifth the year before that. You come out of nowhere. You're always gonna have a burnout point. It's a proven thing in football. Look at Napoli last year. Napoli started just as strong as they started this year. I hope you know, and they dropped off because they just weren't ready. And then they signed the right players. They came in. They learned how to play under the pressure. And now look at them. I would not, as much as I've been saying Milan will win the league, I would not be surprised if Napoli went and won the league. And that's also why I know for a fact Arsenal will not win the Premier League, because again, they didn't even qualify for Champions League last year. They will have a burnout point. They will finish, if even, fourth, because no team can be as consistent as these teams are for as long as you expect them to be consistent for, without having a burnout, especially when they don't have that experience.
I I think they'll qualify for Europe regardless, top 7, but top 4 wouldn't surprise me. The margins are so small because we've got us who are rebuilding. You've got Chelsea who are uh, if you want to call it rebuilding, they're trying to readapt. All right, they're trying to build a new team with Potter there. You've got Arsenal. I don't know. They look good right now. We can put them up there, fine. And then you've got City who are level above them. So you've got realistically us, Chelsea, Liverpool, and then Newcastle's there. Tottenham are there. These teams are all going for top 4. Now, if you ask me right now, like, to rate them on likeliness of which ones would get to the top 4, Newcastle would be in the middle or maybe second bottom, because I think Liverpool are very likely to get top 4. But every time I say that, they lose next week. So I have no idea. Like, but Newcastle have a solid defense. Now, when you have a solid defense, you don't need a momentum you don't need anything to burn out. If you are drawing 0-0, because the thing is with Newcastle, is they don't score, they're gonna draw 0-0. So if you just keep going 0-0, 1-0, 1-0, 0-0, 1-0, 1-0, you will qualify for Europe, if not the Champions League. And that's how you do it at the beginning, because when you build a new team, either you have an attack and you score and you win games 4-3 or 3-2, then you might lose a game 4-0, or you work on your defense and you just grind out 0-0s, 1-0s, maybe a 2-0, 2-1, which is what Newcastle did today. They got a 1-0 midweek, and against us they got a 0-0. It's why I think that, because they have a better defense than us and Chelsea. But I might be jumping, but that is my hot take.
Fair enough.
Or maybe I'm just corrupted
Fair
by
enough.
Ben. Who knows? With all those memes that he sent.
Definitely corrupted by Ben. Definitely corrupted by Ben. Yeah, I think long overdue to end the episode at this point. So just want to say thank you guys for watching. This is actually a pretty fun episode. So yeah, good stuff, Josh. Thanks
Yeah,
again
it
for
was.
taking
I
the time as
hope.
well.
Thanks for coming. It's glad to just be us, no other bums. The true
Yeah, we'll probably have some bums next week though.
actually, but this is the best football knowledge right here. The best, the most high IQ football conversations.
I'll be honest. I really respect Charlie's ball knowledge.
Yeah,
I'll give it
yeah.
to him.
No, I do
I
as
respect it.
well. He speaks
Except
sense.
that stupid Liao comment. Last week. We're gonna move. Can I just say? Sorry, I'm gonna expose Charlie here. Can I just say, as soon as we stopped recording, Charlie came and said, oh, by the way, Hussein, I'm just letting you know, I said what I said about Liao. And for those who didn't watch last episode, anyways, we're only gonna have one viewer this episode anyway. But last episode, Charlie came out and said, yeah, I was extremely overrated. And then as soon as we stopped recording, he says, "Oh, I only said that because I wanted like to have some controversial opinion, and I actually love Leo, and I really wanted to come to Chelsea next." Oh yeah, just saying. Sorry, I'm gonna out you there, but yeah, no,
You know,
I do respect his ball
Hussein's
knowledge.
lying. That never happened. Now you're just gonna have to
Oh
take.
yeah, okay, okay.
But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, drop a like if you're on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Um, yeah, stay tuned. Go on our Instagram, follow that as well, because we do post things on there occasionally. And yeah, we will be back next week with
Maybe some notes
who?
more.
With who? I don't know. Um,
I have a guess.
oh, okay. Well, there will be someone. But yeah, have a good week, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Take care, everyone.